Okay, now we're going to play Bishop Boogie, also known as Trader, for snare drum. I'm going to play the whole thing, and then I'll break it down for you. Okay, short and sweet, but actually it's not quite so short. Here's what's going on. You got an intro, and then you have a part 1, and a part 2, and a part 3, and then an outro. The way this works is you play the intro, and then you go immediately into part 1. And you play part 1 forever and ever and ever and ever, until whoever's leading the group calls out the next part, which could be part 2, or it could be part 3. The thing is with this is you don't necessarily do it in order, you just do whatever's called out. So there's a part 1, and then a part 2 and a part 3. And then whatever part you're in, when they call for the cadence to stop, it could be in any one of those parts. You finish that part and then you play the outro, which is the same as the beginning or the intro. So here's the intro. Okay, so woo! And that woo is a part of it. You're going to play double stops, single notes, and then more double stops. So all together. Woo! When you throw your hands up in the air and go crazy, alright? Alright, so that's the intro. It's also the outro. Part 1 for snare drums is kind of a hard part. I'm going to play it a bunch of times. Okay, so here's the first segment of it. Accent, and then end with an accent. And then there's a space, and then you play 2 double stops. So. And then the next part is right, left, left, right, double stop. All together. Do it again. One more time. Okay, so now I'm going to just repeat it a bunch of times so you can get it in your head. So that's part 1. What's the next part? Oh, you know, I forgot to play part 3 earlier, but that's okay. Here's part 2. So, every right hand note is an accent, every left hand note is a tap. Okay, so if you're a number person, the first half of this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So you accent the right hand on ones. Play it again. And then here's the second half of it. One, two, three, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. So all together. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I'm going to play this over and over again so you can get it stuck in your head. Okay, that's what that is. So faster. Okay, and part 3, which I forgot to play earlier, is pretty easy. That's part 3. It's just a drum set beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So count to 4. 1, 2, 3 is the snare drum. 4. And you just repeat that. So here's the outro, which is the same as the intro. Woo! Part 1. Part 2. Part 3. Okay, so the way it's called out is during the group, whoever's leading it is going to put 1 up for part 1, 2 up for part 2, 3 up for part 3, so you know what part to go to next. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to play the intro, and now I'm going to play part 1, part 2, and part 3 8 times each, so you can play along with it. And then we'll stop with the outro. Don't forget the woo, it's very important. 1, 2, 3, 4. finish a boogie.